Should you have a business partner as an online coach? Starting a business is hard, and you're going to have to wear 5 different hats: the finance, the marketing, the operations, the fulfillment, the sales. And so doing that creates a big skill gap. There's a lot of things that you're going to have to learn very quickly. And so if you just know that you're going to need some help and you want to divide and conquer, then maybe you want to consider setting up with a business partner. I have had a beautiful, blossoming 15-year partnership with Johnny, and there's a lot that we've learned over the years that will help you decide whether or not you should go into business with somebody or not. So the first thing is alignment. This is the most important thing, like the direction of the business. Are you both wanting the same thing? Do you want the same outcome? Do you want that outcome on the same timeline? Do you have the same mission? And do you have the same amount of time to commit each day? If the answer is no, then it cannot be a 50-50 partnership. Oh, someone's calling me. Hello?
Hi, good morning. This is Ronald calling from Google Ad Support Team. Am I speaking with you, sir?
Hi. Yes, speaking.
Being mentioned in the YouTube video or the video present, it's really good in case if you are looking for assistance and unable to solve.
Sorry, that was completely pointless. Are you still recording? Just a bit of a hot shot. That was a call from Google, the Google head office, but it's fine. Everything's under control. So we were talking about being aligned with timeline, mission, work ethic, and communication style. If these things are not fully aligned, if one of you is like, oh yeah, but I'm going to be a bit kind of part-time, or I'm going to be the ideas guy and I'm not really too interested in it, that's fine. But that has to be reflected in the partnership that you agree on and the percentage share that you guys do. Otherwise, you're just going to end up with awkwardness and headaches further down the line. So let's dive into this stuff. Number 1, timeline. Are you planning to be in business for 5 years or 10 years? If so, you've both got to be operating with a long-term timeline. It changes the decisions that you make. It changes the way that you show up every day in your business versus if you were to just go in there for a quick cash grab, flash in the pan. We've been in business for the last 15 years, and it means you can benefit from the compounding and the great relationships that you build over a long time with clients and team and business partners. Second, mission. Are you both trying to achieve the same thing? Are you both trying to provide the same value to the market? You might not know this. You might not have written out a proper mission statement. Very few people do. This is the thing to sit down and do. It just directionally aligns you both with where are we going. Third, work ethic. Is one of you planning to just grind their face off all the time and the other one is going to be sat feet up drinking a Mai Tai? If so, again, that's got to be communicated early rather than 6 months down the line where you're like, hey, you haven't been pulling your weight, and then it just becomes a much more difficult situation. Number 4, communication. All communication with your business partner, your team, your sexy partner, anyone should be based on mutual respect. Because if it's not, you're not going to have a chance of communicating clearly or communicating effectively. So that has to be the basis for everything else. If you disagree about something and you know that you're getting emotional about it, don't just bring that reactively to a discussion. Sit and process it. Ask yourself, where is this coming from? And then get to the root of it yourself, and don't expect them to have to take on your emotions, because that's not their job and it's just going to muddy the waters. So when you do that, communication is a lot clearer. And also usually what happens is if you are aligned on all the other stuff, on the mission and the direction, you'll often find that disagreements come from the fact that you're both just looking at different data. It might not be that you actually disagree fundamentally. You heard the parable about the 4 blind men and the elephant, where they're all like, oh, the elephant is long and smooth. And then the other guy's like, oh no, the elephant is chunky and thick and grounded. And the other one's like, oh, the elephant is sharp and pointy. And they're all just feeling different parts of the elephant, thinking that that is what the whole elephant is. And then the guy who's got eyesight comes along and goes, oh, guys, come on. The elephant is a 4-legged creature with a thing and things, and it's all one and the same thing. So expect that disagreements usually come about because you're looking at one part of the elephant. You're impressed with my elephant anatomy? The final part of alignment and communication is the frequency of communication. How often should you be speaking with your business partner? More frequent is better, but you've got to get the work done at some point. So what we do is we have a weekly schedule of a time that is carved out in the week where we discuss certain items. So we have a call once a week at the same time with a queue of topics that we discuss, organized by RICE score, but you can prioritize them however you want to. RICE is just a scoring system for reach, impact, confidence, and effort for how to prioritize a task on the list, because usually there's more things on a list than you can actually discuss in a 1 hour's call. Next, how do you organize and discuss projects? Here's something that I don't see anyone talking about: context-specific communication. So that's a fancy word for, if we're talking about this thing, all of the communication about this thing goes on here. If we're talking about this thing, all the communication goes about here. So the easiest way to do that is, of course, TickTick. We have a video about that here, but that means that you can have a shared list with a set of items, click into each item, and you can comment on that item and tag your business partner or tag team members. That way, all communication about that task is in the same place, no one's missing anything, compared to a big Slack thread or a big WhatsApp or something where it's just a stream of consciousness and it's a total mess. We've covered the alignment part of having a business partner: the timeline, the mission, the work ethic, the communication, and the frequency. That's like 80% of it. The next part should come more easily, because if you're aligned on that, dividing the skill set and the duties and the practical stuff is much easier. I mentioned before that as a business owner, you have to wear multiple hats and you have to often switch between them. For example, you'll be recording a video and then you have to get on an important call with Google head office. But that's why it's more important to think in terms of roles rather than processes. That's because if you do this well, and as you grow, and if you're following our process and building an automated sales system, you will have a situation in 6 months' time or 12 months' time where you actually have too many clients, and then you have a fulfillment problem, and then you have an operations problem, and then you have a management problem. You will have all these problems. So if you're watching this and you're thinking, oh, but I haven't got enough clients at the moment, you will be able to fix that problem, I promise you. And when you do, it's not going to solve your life. You're going to end up with different problems. At that point, you'll be really grateful that you divided all of the stuff that you do into roles rather than processes, because then you can start to divide that stuff out. You can hire freelancers, you can start to build a team. All of that stuff's covered in this video about outsourcing properly as an online coach. So key point, think in terms of roles. Johnny walks you through how he does that in this video. All right, you've got a business partner. You're aligned on the timeline, you're aligned on your mission, your work ethic, your values, your communication style, you've split out the duties. Now you just need a blueprint and a roadmap to get there so that you can become a profitable online coach, improve your income, your reach, your freedom, your impact. How do you do that? Click on this video and I'll see you soon.